Hey everybody, Jim Powers with MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision as we continue to catch up with all of our coaches this week, especially with excuse me, a lot of snow and cold weather and all that kind of fun stuff. And joining us first off this week is our head men's basketball coach, Jesse Shaw. And Jesse, Mother Nature is not liking us right now. And you guys have had to excuse me, shut down practice for a couple days due to the weather and everything. But let's talk a little bit about that. But also, let's talk about last Thursday night's game against Lindenwood.
Well, I've spent the first 2 hours this morning as we were talking shoveling our driveway, and I'm still not done yet. So it's been a wild couple days hanging out watching the snowfall. But things could be a lot worse. But this year is just doesn't get any more normal as it goes on. It just gets weirder and weirder, with the amount of snow falling, and then us having these last 2 weeks, we only had 2 games in a 19-game span, and that was after we played 5 games in 10 days. And it's kind of a weird time to have such massive breaks. Just throw a enormous storm in the mix, and we're just trying to figure it out day by day.
That was the one thing I was going to ask you was we go through that 5 game and 9 day stretch, and now all of a sudden it's 2 games in 14 days. I mean, how do you, as a head coach and a coaching staff, how do you try to juggle that with everybody? And sometimes more practice is actually sometimes a hindrance in some cases than it is playing games like you normally would.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a territory where Coach Tapmeyer hasn't experienced a lot of these things. Obviously, with COVID, he's been doing this a long time, and he hasn't experienced pandemic coaching. And I don't think he's gotten to a February where he's played 5 games in 10 days and then had 2 games in the next 19 days. It's just weird. And it's not really a time where you want, there was after those 5 games in 10 days, I think we needed the bye week. We needed it bad, and I think it was good. But when you move into a second bye week, not by anybody's, just by, just some protocols, now you're starting to get into uncharted territories, because this time of year, it's hard to really put in an enormous amount of new stuff, because there's 4 games left on our schedule. And if you put something in new, how good are we going to be at it for those 4 games? And then hopefully a postseason run. But even then, a lot of stuff we put in December, we're just starting to be able to really do it well in the flow of the game. So, it's hard to put a lot of stuff in. And then after they've been stimulated with games, 5 games in 10 days, and practices are light, it's hard to really start back over and do long practices with a lot of intensity. But if you don't do that, I mean, we run the risk of getting out of shape. Uh, like we have to, there's a certain amount where you got to play and you got to get up and down. And how do you recreate that in practice and keep them engaged without any games very often? So it's been a very, very weird year. And then, like I said earlier, you throw 8 inches of snow on top of that, and it just gets weirder down the stretch here.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, last week against Lindenwood, not the result that we wanted, but a couple really, really good performances. And we talked about Campto last week a little bit, but looking at the game this past Thursday against Lindenwood, we're starting to see the Campto that we knew we were going to see at some point, and that's really working hard down on the block. Not only defensively but offensively, getting himself into the mix and doing some great things on the offensive side. And it was really great to see Campto being able to do that this past Thursday night.
Yeah, he's shown glimpses rebounding wise. He's had double-digit rebounding games here and there. And we missed him for most of first semester outside of that first game against S&T. So we really didn't go to him on the block, giving him the ball, posting up for, I mean, most of the year. We missed him first semester, and then when things got back, we kind of were in the groove of posting some other guys. But with the time we've had off, we've been able to do some more one-on-one breakdown stuff. And Camto's done a really good job of scoring on the block in our one-on-one sessions, and there were some matchups in the game Thursday that we felt like he had an opportunity to score on with the way that they defended and certain guys, and he did a great job. And honestly, in hindsight, after the game, when you're critiquing yourself, that's one thing I think that we went away from in the second half was we had certain matchups that we were posting him and he was having success with, but I felt like we should have probably just continued to post him anyway because he was having so much success. So that's one thing as a coach when you look back and you're like, I could do that over again. I wish I could tweak that, but that's another dimension that he adds to us and to his game is being able to give him the ball on the block and him produce for us.
And Jake Peterson, not a lot of people know Jake yet, just came to us at semester. And it seems like he's now starting to get comfortable and, picking up the offense, picking up the defense. And he gave you some really good minutes on Thursday night.
Yeah, that was another thing after the game. You're critiquing yourself and you're thinking, maybe we should have played Jake a little bit more. He is not in month whatever it is, September, October, month 5 or 6 with us. He's in month 2, so he's really fresh and has really good energy. And he naturally in the recruiting process, that's something we noticed was his energy level and how hard he plays, and then combine that with him just starting in January, and he's bringing some really good energy, and he's got an ability to shoot the ball and stretch the defense. And we've been concerned with him just knowing what we do, having come in at semester. He's been kind of a deer in headlights trying to pick everything up. I think I think he got here January 12th or somewhere before that, but he's just hitting over a month with us right now when the other guys are on month number 5. But I do think he's starting to pick everything up and he's not having to think quite as much, and he knows what we're doing. He's able to play a little bit more. And he gave us some good minutes. He gave us some good minutes against S&T in a conference game we won on the road, and we put him into the game at William Jewell the first when we played them at their place, and we were in foul trouble, and we ended up winning that game on the road. So I think he's doing a pretty good job. It's just hard to, do you throw a guy out there that's only been there a month and you're worried that there's some things that he might mess up play wise or defensive scheme wise, but at the same time, he's starting to pick it up and he's doing a pretty good job and playing hard. So, he's been a bright spot for us the last 2 games.
No doubt about it. Well, let's talk about Thursday night's matchup against McKendree. Chris Foster, we know what we're going to see from a Chris Foster team. They're going to get after you defensively. They're going to do some good things offensively. What's kind of the things that you guys are looking at scouting wise to stop McKendree and get the W on Thursday night?
Well, they have really good size and skill. They run a motion offense and they're constantly moving, and you cannot fall asleep off the ball or on the ball. You have to, stay alert at all times, and everybody's got not just be alert to their man, but be alert to all 5 guys on the floor because we might have to switch out or help on somebody who's giving up penetration, and you got to be ready at all times. They shoot the three-point shot really, really well, so being there on the catch, ready to take it away from them is going to be extremely important. They're good in transition. They get out and run, and they got shooting everywhere. So we're going to have to get back and get matched up. And, offensively, they got a lot of size and length everywhere, and we're going to have to find a way to score on them. So I think that, there's some things we're looking to do. Hopefully we can get out and run on them a little bit and use our quickness a little bit to get in the paint. But, they're going to be tough on the defensive end also. So I think it's going to be a really good matchup.
No doubt about it. Well, we're looking forward to the last couple home games this coming weekend, and then you guys will finish up the regular season on the road next week. But it'll be great to get you guys back in Simon Thursday night to take on McKendree.
Absolutely. Good to see you, Jim.
Good to see you too, buddy. Jesse Shaw, head men's basketball coach, joins us once again Thursday night, 7:30 at Simon. Still no fans, but you'll be able to watch everything on the JLVC Sports Network and Saints Vision, as we'll have wall-to-wall coverage for you on Thursday night as the men's team takes on McKendree. For Coach, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week, and as always, go Saints.